Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars Week 49, Day 1. It is a blue day. We have almost done 50 Guild Wars. We're almost there, halfway to 100. I was expecting that to be a lot quicker, of course, but of course, lately, now that we only have one every 3 weeks, it's gonna take like, what, 2-3 years before we hit like 100? I didn't actually calculate it out. But it'll be a while, that is for sure. But anyways, blue day today. So definitely bringing out the Azura, bringing out the Corvash, probably bringing out the other ones. I do need to revamp my assassin. I am not going to switch my hero class because I am still trying to power level it as much as we possibly can before Thursday, which is almost right around the corner. So yeah, still working towards that. Only level 82 at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 82. So we'll see how close we get by Thursday. Maybe I'll buy the rest with gems. Not fully certain, but we'll see what happens when it gets there. Anyways, let's go revamp. This is what we're currently using with the incorrect hero class, but we're going to use this hero class to the best of our ability. Gonna throw immediately into an Azura, get Corvash up, throw a Corvash, Skady for backup and summon, and Dawnbringer for protection is essentially what we're going with here. So let's go edit our team real quick. Click on the hero itself, because I need to go and change probably every single one of these perks. Not that either. Okay, well actually we can do it in this menu. So, perks. Hunt is fine. So we'll keep that. Chilling Death, frees a random enemy when when one of them dies. That is fine. 1 soul per turn, I should probably get rid of. Though then again, the alternative is not that good. Either 1 soul per turn, 5 gold per turn, both useless, or 20% chance to summon a Sister of Shadows when an enemy dies. Question, what is Sister of Shadows? Isn't that the one that converts to purple? If that is, you know what, I think I am going to set that. Let me see. Sister of Shadows. Oh, no, that's the red-purple one, isn't it? Sister of Shadows. Yeah, that's that red-purple that hits to the 2 weakest enemies, does not double tap if it's only 1. If an enemy dies, gain an extra turn. You aren't really that useful. You're not worth 1 soul per turn. Losing 1 soul per turn. So you know what, we're just going to leave that. It is Guild Wars, but I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. What else am I looking for? Troops. Switch out the other hero class. Why am I going to here to do that? Go to Guild, back to Guild, Guild Wars, and right into the thingy thing. Wrong thingy thing. And there we go. So many things you have to click on to try to change this, gosh. Class. There. Okay. So we'll keep it on souls. We can start with a... Oh, definitely change the bandit. 50% chance to summon a bandit when an ally dies. This is a lot higher chance than that would occur. Because for 1, we would need to kill them. 2, we would need to only have a 20% chance, and 3, we would need a slot open, and all those things happening is pretty unlikely, but this one's pretty likely. If we happen to lose a troop, there's a 50% chance that troop gets replaced with a bandit, and worst comes to worst, maybe we can win with bandits alone, which would be kind of cool. Other than that, we could go for storms, but I don't think in the context of the team we're using right now, a storm would be too good. Though, I don't know, create a purple storm. That's tempting. Oh, no, it won't be. Skady. Skady will overwrite my storm after the first turn. So since we're using the blue storm, no, we'll stick with this. We'll stick with what we have. So we'll go with bandit. Siphoning, I believe, is fine. We could go with not target hero, but don't really need it. Our hero's in last slot, so what I'm actually going to do here, which I haven't really tested extensively yet, is deathmark a random enemy at the start of battle. This potentially could get us a free kill for doing absolutely nothing. If I'm not mistaken, deathmark does not count towards your points, but as long as you're doing about 4 times more damage than the enemy, it doesn't matter if the deathmark itself, the kill off the deathmark, does not earn us points. So we'll go with this. I don't believe there's a different banner we could switch to. I wish there was. We are missing green, but the minus green banner, I don't believe synergizes with this team. Like that, we don't need. We need a +1 purple, whatever we do. And there's currently no minus green banner that gives +2 purple, if I'm not mistaken. Or +1 purple, I mean. So we're stuck with having to use this, which is a little bit clunky color-wise, but it'll be fine. So, Corvash, Azura, Skady, Dawnbringer, using a weird assassin setup. And let's see what we can do. Anyways, I didn't even say hello to everyone yet. Hello, Siplum! Hello, Questor! Hello, Danny! Hello, Zeddicus! Hello, Evelyn! Yes, the only thing they went over yesterday with the dev Q&A was the Cat Dragon is coming soonish, kind of. And that's, they will eventually show a really big spoiler image for the upcoming, patch in relation to Kingdoms, but they haven't ended up giving that to us yet, so we don't really know. We know that next patch is going to have some really big stuff coming along related to that, but we don't exactly know yet what that will be in relation to specifically the map screen and what they might be doing to revamp it and stuff. Hello, Lemery. Hello, Dragon Ball Z fan. Hello, Julio. Let's see. Can you lose to another wait, what? I have no clue what that question means. Ziplum. Hello, Steve. Let's see. I know, 49 weeks of Guild Wars. A lot of weeks. Did you know if you... And I actually kind of like Guild Wars now, because raids and invasions... It's kind of weird. Raids and invasions has made me like Guild Wars. Like, Guild Wars is perfect in comparison to raids and invasions. Anyways, did you know if you complete an explore match on Warlord 4 and then do a pet rescue, you get the rewards on Warlord 4? You tested this after a night after switching to normal mode, and rewards were smaller. Interesting. There used to be exploits like that with Arena in the past, but they fixed them. There is a possibility that they exist for pets as well, and they just didn't fix it for that yet, since it's such new content. Came in 2 patches ago. Yeah, I never actually knew that. I'll need to go test that later. That would only affect the gold, though. It wouldn't affect the amount of anything else, just the gold. But still, you would earn, like, double the gold if you did that, pretty much. Like, very close to double. And it's not much gold, but that would make it a decent amount of gold, at least. Also, I don't believe it has to be immediately after. It just has to be at any point you would have to do the battle. But, of course, doing it, I mean, immediately before, I mean. But, yeah, as long as you do it before at any point, it would work. As long as you didn't re-switch the difficulty after. Yeah, what was funny with Arena, it was really, really exploitable at one point in Arena. It's not possible anymore, but at one point in Arena, you could win out the entire thing on normal difficulty, then switch to Warlord 4 difficulty, and then it gave you the reward as if you did the entire thing in Warlord 4 difficulty, which obviously was quite not intended. But we'll go take the blue over. Go and get a Dawnbringer down. Let's see if we can get a nice blue explosion. Corvash double kill actually isn't even too bad at this point. We'll let him skull poke us. We have barrier too because we got Dawnbringer down. So we'll just do that. We do have to deal with this thing's high HP at the moment. Don't really have any way to kill it out yet. Never mind. Wait, how do we kill? Oh, Hunter's Mark. I keep forgetting. Yeah, we have Hunter's Mark off of Assassin right now. Yeah, Hunter's Mark is really, really good when you can place it that often. It's been bad in the past because there's been no good way to apply it. But with this hero, it's just, you Hunter Mark every 5 seconds, it feels like. Every extra turn you do is a Hunter's Mark. You know, this actually isn't working out too badly, this setup that we have on the Assassin. It's definitely not the most optimal thing to be using on this team, for sure, but it's getting the job done. Also, all of his traits we're not using. Immune to Poison, nope. Venomous, nope. And Assassinate, which is the whole reason you even use this class to begin with, for the most part. And nope, not even using it. He's all the way in back, last slot. And there's no point in moving him. The furthest we can move him up is there. But we might as well keep him all the way in the back. Actually, you know what? Maybe we do keep him there. Now that I think about it, it actually probably would be better. Not only because of the hero class, but also because we can get a quicker Dawnbringer, so it's not blocking my yellow. The only big issue with this... Oh, I see why. I didn't do that in the past. If I do it like this, Skady is 100% blocked, meaning we are literally only using her for the Blue Storm, which I think is fine. So we'll leave it as is. Go with that. And head back in. Also, why are these defense so weak? This is like some kind of weird, I don't even know what that is. What? He's using like Divine with the partial kind of Divine? I don't quite know what his team is. Especially for a Guild War defend. What level is he? Level. Wait, where's your... Oh, there it is. Whoa, that's a pretty high level to be setting that team. Not quite sure what he's doing. I'll go take that. Could be a possibility he forgot to switch his defense or something. That can definitely happen. I think we take a purple here and then just explode like crazy. Hello, Mystic. Welcome. Hello, Sandy. Hello, John. Hello, Sean. I mean, Jan and Sean. I like combined your 2 names. Hello, Jan. Hello, Sean. Let's see. Also, hello, Captain, as well. Does Assassin Skull kill or work on all skull damage your troops use? It only works when our hero specifically takes the skull. So every single skull I take, like if I take the skull, it'll have a 0% chance to hit the last enemy for the Assassinate. This trait only works if he's the one specifically taking the skull. If it's someone else on my team, it does not work. Has to be him. Oh, wow, he just got a Death Mark kill. See, look at that Death Mark go. That actually is a really, really nice trait, even though I don't use it too much, mainly because the alternatives are normally better than it. But in the context of Guild Wars, it actually is better going for that Death Mark. And look at that. Right off the bat, we just get first turn. That was really lucky, though. That was the earliest we could have possibly killed him with that. That's definitely way above average, but still, a free kill out of nowhere. And most things in Guild Wars do not run immune to Death Mark, because Death Mark is so weak right now that there's almost no need to. So a mechanic like that, it's actually pretty decent. We don't get points for that, if I'm not mistaken, though. Well, it doesn't count as damage. Even though it killed it immediately, none of that counts as damage, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not fully 100% certain on that, but I'm almost certain on that that does not count as any points. But as long as you're still doing about 4 times more damage, it still is the same exact thing. And if anything, it's helping you overall get the battle done quicker, which also raises your points. There we go. If nothing else, we also get 10 Assassin EXP. A very slow rate of 10 Assassin EXP, but 10 nonetheless. Okay, here's a bit more of a realer team. Humility, Dragon Soul, Azura, Christinex. Also, I forgot to even mention, but if you're wondering why the teams we're fighting are slightly weaker, we are in bracket 3 at the moment. We did end up going down. I think we made 18th? No, it's 19th or something. I think we made 19th or something last week. So we did end up going down a bracket, unfortunately, but that does mean we have easier battles, if nothing else. So how many battles have we done so far? I was wondering why our score was so low. We only done 2/3 of our battles. But anyways, let's keep going. He's using Azura himself as well. We got to be careful with that. We're both going to be fighting over all of the blues. He's going to go immediately into Dragon Soul, though. Or at least if the AI plays correctly, it will be. But that'll be a good thing if it does, because we have Corvash. So that's fine. I'd rather it go for the Dragon Soul right here than for the Azura, because we can easily deny it. So right here, not that good of a board. I believe we let him have a skull. We do have some skull reduction on this. Not really that high, only 25%. But still, that's better than none. Oh, look at that. We still got a skull after all that. Well, I guess that worked out then. So we'll take another blue off the top. Ideally, we'd want Purple Surge right now, but it is not available. Also, ideally, he'll die to that Death Mark in the next turn or two before we actually do anything. Would be great. I guess we'll take another blue here and just go for the explosion. We do not have it off of any other means, so I'm not going to bother taking it. Go for that. Still kind of waiting on it. Just kind of leave it there. Might just have to go for the Corvash already. That or go for some kind of other mana that we may need, like yellow. Oh, or take the red that's literally just sitting there. Would be good too. I don't have any Cascade for that. Could try for it off the top. Really should be throwing Azura right now. So I think we will go for Corvash into Azura and go from there. And then we'll just repeat it again. Still has not died to Death Mark. He'll probably cleanse it next turn. It's been quite a few turns by now. Oh, nope. He still does not want to die nor cleanse that Death Mark off him. It's going to stay for a while, though it's doing literally nothing unless it eventually gets the kill. And there he goes. He finally cleansed it off. It's kind of to be expected. More often than not, that's exactly what's going to do. Just stay on it for a few turns, then gets cleansed and does absolutely nothing. But under the rare circumstance that it does actually get a kill, it's going to be nice. And it takes 0 time as well, since it starts at the beginning of battle. Though it's excessively luck-based. Really everything on Assassin is excessively luck-based. There's almost no ability on it that isn't luck-based. But we'll go and I guess Corvash preemptively. Actually, you know what? We could Dawnbringer, then Corvash, because he's going to take mana this turn. We'll do it that way. So we'll do that first. He'll go do whatever. I'm actually going to take a Skull here. And never mind, that's already enough damage. And down it goes. Okay, let's keep going. So far, our score, I believe, is good. I keep forgetting how to gauge the score every single time. It was so much easier when they were all 300 to gauge what exactly the score was, but you'd have to do the multiplication thing, which I haven't been doing lately, to go and make them all base 300 to be able to figure out what your score actually is for every single battle. And I normally don't do that because it takes way too long to try to figure that out. Well, not way too long, but you can kind of just know at the end what it is, as long as you win all 5 battles. Okay, he's Death Marked. That's actually a really, really good thing to have Death Marked. Unfortunately, not much we can do on the board. So ideally, he'll go down in, like, now would be great. Move that over. Dawnbringer, I believe we go for right now, then Azura, just so we can get mana and everything. That'll then give us Azura so we can go drain him, since he's probably not going to die. Nope, still not dead. Go explode everything. See where that brings us. He's just going to go for some skulls. Still alive, still Death Marked though, but he's also stunned. However, he's not 100 mark, so I can't kill him with a skull. So I'm not going to. We're just going to go and clear out the board again. That'll give full mana to him. Nice HP reduction on him. He is still stunned, however, so now I can kill him with a skull if I so choose. And I believe I will, just so we take less damage. We have pretty much everything we need, so we'll go grab that down. Death Mark does not kill him, unfortunately. He gets a lot of mana there, which lowers our points by a decent amount. Unfortunate. Oh, we're silenced as well, and I didn't even realize it. Oh, no! We weren't silenced, but then he just silenced us. Oh, that is bad. How do I do this? I guess I barrier, but I believe the way he hits isn't even going to matter if we barrier here. He just did a silence, didn't he? Let me go back on replay. Did he really just silence us on that extra turn he randomly got there? He did. He silenced us on that extra turn that he randomly got. Out of every effect on every single troop, he hits the exact one he needed to hit, and he hit it with a silence. Well then, that's not good. Okay. Also, hello, Medieval. Welcome. Okay, we'll go and... what do I even do here? I guess we do go Dawnbringer, so we'll do that. Throw that down. Okay, weird. He doesn't cast, so we'll go and drain him then. Thank you. I will go take the skull over, kill him off this explosion. The skulls alone will be enough, even if it doesn't hit the right stat. And that's it. Yeah, we just hit him with a skull here. Ideally into an extra turn. I don't think we have one, though. Well, I mean, not into an extra turn, but I mean into a mana cascade. Like, if we could take a 3 blue to lower this so we can gain some mana, we'd gain ever so slightly more points. But you know what? Let's kill him normally. And there we go. Isn't that one of the shard weapons for Dawnbringer? Yes, one of the shard weapons is for Dawnbringer. It's one of the components. Okay, final battle. We have a kind of goblin team. It has the core 3, but it's using Gorgulfa up front. That could be dangerous, though more often than not, I don't think that's really going to be much better than a Siren or something. Well, we'll see. You never know. Okay. If he does start going too crazy with mana, we might have an issue here. But as long as we Corvash him at a timely manner, it should be fine. And he's already stunned, so we don't even need to deal with his 75% reduction anymore. I could even go for that skull if I really wanted to. Though, I believe at this point we should finish out Corvash. Because we don't want him going crazy on mana. But then again, no, I should finish Corvash. Because the biggest issue here is he's about to go and... if I don't do this, he'll just go for mana. So we'll do that. Good thing we did. Wow. Okay, we get the extra turn up there. Now we can go for that skull. Now that we have a Corvash on reserve. We could also take that purple, though the problem with that is... Actually, we could take it to the right. Never mind. Is we give him 5 times yellow. And I can't take that red to drop that at all. There's no way to take that for an extra turn. Yeah, just purple to the right, I believe, is what we do. So we'll do that. Oh, that gives him an extra turn? Well, he gives us yellow, so that's fine. Oh, he could take in that red as well, but we'll do that. Take the red because we have to, just so he doesn't get it. Now his entire team's pretty much stunned. We got a death mark on it. We got Hunter's Mark all over the place. So many random effects. We'll go in Dawnbringer so we don't lose any more damage, or don't take any more damage. I think we Azura here. I don't need to cast Corvash yet, so I'm going to wait. Even if he does get his ability, we just did a magic reduction on him. Not enough of a magic reduction, but still one nonetheless. We have barriers, so we shouldn't hopefully get trolled by them. I think we can one-shot this with this, so one less thing to deal with. Death Mark just got a kill right there, too, as you saw. So we just double-killed right there, which now allows us to Corvash both of them, which is actually perfect. So good job, Death Mark. I do have to give him a skull in order to do that, but I think it's fine. We'll just go take the other skull. He's stunned, so he can't actually dodge us, which is nice. Is Dawnbringer enough damage? 33, but it's boost based on every yellow. So yes, it is. We'll take the thing real quick. We'll then go and hit him, and then we could Azura kill it. And we could either do that with a skull or a skull. We don't have any other way unless we get full mana here, which we do, but he's going to get a little bit of mana. Luckily, we have magic reduced it, so... Oh, never mind. Magic does nothing to its thing. There's just not that many greens on the board. And down it goes. Okay. That actually wasn't too bad, given the hero class we were using. It's kind of odd how decent that actually worked. Also, that Death Mark at the start of battle, wow. 2 times we got a pretty decent kill out of them. The other times, of course, it did nothing. But, yeah, that's basically the whole thing with it. You just hopefully get lucky with it and then go from there. But yeah, not too bad. 9,415 for a blue day. I'm personally not too huge a fan of a blue day. It is pretty much a spam Azura and auto win is basically blue day, especially if you have Corvash. But the rest is just kind of whatever you want to use for the most part. But, yeah, I'll take it. Not the greatest of scores, but anything above 9,300 I'll be fine with. Ideally, we'll be wanting to aim for like 9,500 each time. But for a blue day, I think that's fine. Yeah, there we go. We're still really low on leaderboard, but that's mainly because we haven't done any battles yet. Or at least the rest of the guild. We still have like 40 battles remaining. Game is lagging right now. But for the rest of the time, we'll probably be going into Assassin. So if you guys have any questions or anything you want me to go over, otherwise, team-wise, let me know. We'll be trying to level Assassin as much as possible tomorrow. And ideally, Thursday morning, I will be going over and doing, well, Wednesday morning. But basically, the plan for this week. I actually have several videos planned because, as you can see, we have quite a busy week with all the things that are coming out. Tomorrow, I'll be covering a video going over Great Mall teams that are good for pet battles as well as for pet battles and monster teams. More so just the pet battle things, just to kind of like show how Great Mall is good in it, because he is available in the event key this week, and it is pretty relevant because if you're a newer player, there's a lot that you can do with a Great Mall as far as certain game modes are concerned, like dungeons and pet rescue. You never have to worry about them again once you have a Great Mall, which is kind of cool. Other than that, class event on Thursday, which is why we've been using Assassin, trying to get it to level 100 so I could show what it looks like fully maxed out. I don't even know what it looks like yet, so we'll see. I'll probably be gemming the last of it. I'm not sure how many we'll have to spend. Ideally less than 500, though maybe 1,000, we'll see. It's not really worth spending it on it, but I just want to rush it up so we could show it for the video. And then Bounty Hunter on Friday, which I'll be spending like 1,500 gems or something on, whatever all the tiers are, in order to get the final reward thingy. But we'll be doing that, and hopefully that will go as well as, hopefully that will go good as well. But yep, that's pretty much the game plan. We have all 3 of those. That's such a good do dungeons while we're just sitting here. Go fight these. Not with that, obviously. No. That'd be way too slow. What's our explore team currently? Oh yeah, I'm using the gold version. Let me just use a real team, I guess, since we're using the gold version there. The amount of time it would take me to switch it out and then switch it back later is not worth it. It'll take like 30 seconds, but these battles will take like 3 minutes total, so. Oh, that reminds me, I need to also go switch my assassin back to normal. He's currently not using the right perks because we switched them for Guild Wars. They're not bad, the perks he's using now. It's just they're not really made for quick PvP. They're made for elongated Guild War battles. Guild War battles generally go on longer than any other battle type in the game, for the most part, not always. But as far as like how long a battle takes relative to people who are actually like about the same stats as you, Guild Wars tends to take the longest, just because pure color teams are most pure color teams aren't the quickest of things to really be using. Okay, see what we can get here. Look for the double kill, get those out, get nice and furnace going. Yeah, Hunter's Mark is amazing. At least when you can spam it this high or this quickly. It's not in the past it's been like dead content because there's been nothing to apply it quick enough. But yeah, Hunter's Mark off of either Assassin or Archer, I believe, are the only 2 that currently have it. But you get it in literally seconds. Like if you go and unlock Assassin or Archer hero class, like 5 seconds later, 1 minute later, you will have unlocked the Hunter's Mark ability. I'm really surprised they put something that strong that quick. I believe it is the absolute strongest possible first perk in the entire game for any hero class, which is really cool. It's one of the other reasons why I kind of suggest running Assassin as one of your very first hero classes if you're not going something like Dragon Guard. You get the ability to farm souls and gold at the 20 mark, and at the 1 mark you get the Hunter's Mark thing, which is in the context of early game teams, you do use skull-oriented stuff a lot. Because it's just better to use. No one really has traits, no one really has anything up there. So you're generally, it's quicker just to take the skulls off the board than to do anything else in most instances. Because by the time you got all of your mana up, you'd be better off just plowing down their entire team in like 1 to 2 shots with skulls. Because you can do that earlier on in the game. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't need those. Also, those look like rubies from Legend of Zelda. I never noticed that. That's exactly what those look like. Anyways, dungeon's done. Let's go and farm up PvP and keep getting this assassin leveled. We still have 18 levels to go. Though, of course, the 18, or all the last ones are the longest because they keep taking 1 additional battle each time. So this one takes 83 points, then 84, all the way to 101 for the final level. Alright, let's go and... let's go get this then. How good is Emperor Liang? Pretty bad, actually. Like, really bad. You'd use Divinia in 100% of instances. I don't think there is a single instance where Divinia is weaker than Emperor Liang. The biggest issue with Emperor Liang is mainly that its buff only works on the color that you select, whereas you're generally not... It just causes a lot of confliction, because if you want the buff, you have to hit a certain color. and your team would have to be almost pure color of that color. But removing that color wouldn't be a good idea, or destroying it like it does, because if you remove the color you're mainly using from the board, well, if you set your banners to it, you won't be able to get additional mana from it, but also you're just literally getting rid of the color you need the most. So it's a really, really weird troop. And the only thing it really does is enchant, which is good for enchant spam, that it definitely is. But you can easily do that off of Divinia now. And not only enchant spam, but you get other stuff too, like Enrage, Barrier, Submerge, all the good stuff. So yeah, there's really no point in ever using Emperor Liang anymore. There already pretty much wasn't, but Divinia is superior to it in essentially every instance. Okay, what do we need here? He might actually kill us. It's a 1 trophy battle, but he's using the exact same team. Or almost exact same team. Yeah, we'll go take that. Yeah, we're actually going to lose to it. He just killed my Ubistet, which was going to double kill soon. But we'll see. It depends how lucky we get off of Infernus. Also, I still have my wrong perk set as well, as you can tell by the random bandit just sitting there, taking all of the hits. Okay, let's go, and that awkward moment when Bandit actually just saved us right there. We would already be dead if he wasn't there. Though we're already going to be dead, but still. We'll move that over. I'll just cascade some. I'll go take those yellows over. Can we get skull spam here? Hopefully. No, we can't. Okay, let's go just explode everything. Try getting lucky. Don't get lucky. He didn't kill us yet. Please have some kind of amazing alignment. The biggest alignment we've ever seen. Doesn't look like it. Let's go for this and hope we get lucky. Boom. Boom. Okay, so far so good. The whole getting lucky thing is working right now. Let's go and take those reds. Boom. Throw Infernus. Boom. If we actually win this. I think we did. If we can get another Infernus, as long as he doesn't hit us with a skull here. We actually just came back from that somehow. Yeah, we won. Well then, that was a weird battle, but we still won. And good, because it's a revenge rival as well, so it gives a lot more gold. That awkward moment when we almost died to our 1 trophy. But mainly because it's, like, you can get really, really strong 1 trophy sometimes. Like, we could get a battle like this or this on our 1 trophy. Actually, Demon Ranger, I don't think he's here right now. We actually had him on our 1 trophy earlier when I was messing around with some battles. It was off stream. We might have seen it on stream as well. But he was using, like, the exact team we're using, and he was on my 1 trophy, which is kind of odd. Anyways, let's keep going. Also, thank you for subscribe, Garrett. Much appreciated. Oh, a treasure gnome, nice. Oh, I still forgot to switch my things. I need to do that next battle. What can you replace Skady with in Guild Wars? Skady can be replaced with a Christinex would probably be your best bet. Just so you still have a summoner. We're mainly using Skady for 2 things in that team. The first is we're using her as a summon, so you could use literally any blue summoner in her place. And the second thing we're using her for, unfortunately, does not have a replacement for the most part, other than setting it on your hero. But the second thing we're using her for is the Perpetual Blue Storm. You can partially do that by setting a storm to your hero. Like, for example, like with Assassin that we used today, we could have actually used a Blue Storm or a Purple Storm instead of, I believe, Siphon, if I'm not mistaken. I forget which one it gets replaced. Maybe the Soul Eater. No, I forget which one it was. But we do have the option of a Blue Storm or a Purple Storm, both of which are actually amazing for Blue Guild War Day. But yeah, you can kind of do that and just kind of switch things around, your perks and everything, and make it work. But that's the only way you can kind of really replace Skady, is just do it with the thing off your hero, and specifically do it off of that. Yeah, the actual troop of it would mainly just be replaced with Christinex, and the reason for that is more so for the board control and the summon. The damage comes into play some too, of course, but generally you'd want to stick more so to true damage in the case, because Azura is actually really good with true damage combined with it. One nice thing about Christinex, though, or any AoE for that matter, even if it is physical damage, is you do get to utilize it for extra points. So, as I mentioned, you do have to do approximately 4 times more damage than the enemy. You don't have to, but the more closer to 4 times more damage than the enemy you do, the better. And all physical damage does count towards that. Like, if you throw a full AoE, if you hit like 30 on each, well, that just counts as 120 damage that you did. And if they're just hitting you for like a 40 afterwards with like a skull or something, that makes for a really big advantage to yourself. But yeah, on Blue Day, there's a lot of utilities, and you generally just go all utility for the most part, which is like 1 core damage. And generally, that 1 core damage is your Core Vash. Core Vash is your damage / disabler. Azura you use for mana generation. hero you use with whatever weapon you have available. Ideally Dawnbringer, though not required, obviously. And Skady's mainly just here for all the utility it does. Alternatives would be just doing anything that summons, and as I mentioned, Christine X would end up working out decent there. You normally want to have a summon on every single Guild War day. I don't always do that, though I try to. It just doesn't really fit sometimes, and sometimes it's just better going for the stronger team. But anytime you don't bring a summon, it can hurt you a lot. Every troop you lose during Guild Wars does substantially decrease your amount of points. It's one of like the biggest things that actually kills your points, other than not using pure color, which of course you always want to do if you can. But yeah, it's basically just utility spam until you can get Corvash over and over again. Is essentially Blue Day in a nutshell. I still have not switched it, so at least Deathmark's doing work, if nothing else. Well then, okay, let's go and move that over. Yeah, maybe I should start using the Deathmark thing. The only problem is, I believe it's over top of a decent trait, but I don't know. Is that the one that normally has the lifesteal, or was that a different one? No, what is normally here that we go for? Oh, 30% skull dodge. Never mind, yeah. That's why. With this hero class, it's mandatory to go and not use the Deathmark thing then, if we're using hero in first slot. You really need that 30% dodge. No wonder why we're dying so quickly. Okay, that would explain it then. Because we don't have our 30% dodge. Yeah, that's actually really big when using Assassin. It made him from being the squishiest hero in the game to actually being good in first. Well, he was always kind of good in first, but the biggest issue was he would always die too quick. Case in point, right here in this battle. But yeah, let's go give him his normal perks back, since I switched it for Guild Wars. That will make him a lot tankier, so he can actually not die the second he gets hit by a few little skulls. If it'll let me switch it. What is my Brown Day? Pretty much the same premise as Blue Day. Blue Day is Corvash Azura, whereas Brown Day is Gorgoltha Corvash. You can also do Gorgoltha Famine, and I believe my particular Brown Day actually does do Gorgoltha Famine, but Gorgoltha Corvash is basically the exact same thing. Yeah, this is what I normally have set. Oh, no, never mind. I still run this. Oh, yeah, I switched it to, I don't use Famine anymore. I use the Diviner version of this team now, and run Gorgoltha, Corvash, Diviner, Ubistet. We tried this, I believe, 1 or 2 weeks ago, and it's been going amazingly since then. But yes, Gorgoltha, Corvash, Diviner, Ubistet. If you don't own Ubistet, this team actually is based heavily around Ubistet, this particular setup. Well, the core of this team is Gorgoltha Corvash. Like, that's the main substance of this team right now. And technically Diviner you could put too, because you probably have Diviner laying around. If you have those two troops, you probably have a Diviner laying around somewhere. Ubistet's the biggest issue here, for most people being able to build it. Is that the only color we're missing? No, we're missing 2 colors. So either a brown-purple or a brown-red. You could go Skull Spam. You could go Glaceon even. Because that would feed Corvash, plus it would Doom Skull. And since you're using Gorgoltha, it doesn't actually matter if you Doom Skull. So you could go something like Gorgoltha, Glaceon, Corvash, Diviner. Or even replace out Diviner for something that can mana generate for you more. Some people like using Salvani Mora on this team too. Using Gorgoltha plus Salvani Mora basically negates out any chance of the enemy doing any skull damage to you. And as long as the rest of your team has enough disable and damage, it works out decently. Other than that, Famine, of course, if you own it. And I'm trying to think of a brown-red. The problem is there's not really any good brown-red. You'd have to go Glaceon, I feel like, for if you're going to go for brown-purple damage. Because if you go to brown-red, there are a lot of like tanky things in this, but we don't need tanky. We need high damage. Elma Grim wouldn't work in this context. Scar's Avatar wouldn't. Ketris would be too dangerous, though you could run it. Bloodhammer wouldn't be horrible, but you're denying out your blue you need for Corvash, so in a way, I guess it kind of is horrible. Highforge, I normally do like using Highforge for this. It's the summoner you would normally use if it's a brown Guild War day. Oh yeah, I guess you could technically use your hero there too, and use like a second slot with the new Mank. What is that? Earth's Fury? You could use Earth's Fury, actually. That was available last week. Most of you probably got it. Ragnagord would work good into these kind of teams. Problem is, you don't want to run Corvash as your only damage. Corvash as your only damage is way, way not enough. You need at least 2 every single time, I would say, particularly for Guild Wars. In this case, of course, that's Corvash and Ubistet in this particular team. Yeah, not too many other ones. Mainly Highforge, I would say, then, if you had to go with a different one. And just go for the double hit on last slots while double killing the first 2 with the other thing. And you'd also have them all perpetually stunned. And as far as brown-purples, if you would go down that route, it would definitely be Glaceon as the only option, pretty much. Really, really high damage. Gives you the blue mana generation you need for your Corvash. and it's really tanky as well. So it has pretty much everything you need. Magnus ends its turn too much for it to be good in Guild Wars in most situations, and Wild Queen would be way too inconsistent. Yasmin doesn't work with this, so yeah, pretty much Glaceon or Highforge would be your replacements then. And Diviner can be replaced out too. Main reason we're running Diviner in this particular team, actually I might as well go run it right now, might as well. Main reason we're using Diviner in this particular team is just because of the 2 things using yellow. And generally, if you're going to be putting the Convert in your team, you want at least 2 of them using the color. And in this case, we do. So that's why we're using it. If you only had one, like if, let's say, Upstet was the only thing on our entire team that used yellow, or if Gorgolfa was the only one, we definitely would not want to use a Diviner. Because if we were, it just wouldn't be worth it. Okay, so we'll Gorgolfa here. Ideally, that'll get Diviner to full. One of the other reasons why I carry Diviner on this team too is in case we go up to Mana Drain. If I'm not mistaken, Brown Day runs a lot of Scion because Gorgolfa is hard countered by Scion pretty well. And I like building a Mana Drain immunity so that we can go and, let's say they drain out all of my mana and we still have Diviner. It has immune to the drain, so we can just go right back into Gorgolfa to full mana and maybe even get some yellows on the board to get him up, so works out quite nicely. So right off the bat here, he does have Infernus. That's really bad because I can't do anything about that. He's just gonna have to do it, and then we go and double kill him with Upstet, and that's pretty much what this team would be. Specifically using the Upstet version of it, you just go Upstet into win, and you just use everything else for mana generation and disable. It's has actually really improved my Brown Day. I think Brown Day prior to me using this team was around like 9,200 most days, but it was really consistent. Now it's like boom, we score 9,500 pretty much because it kills so quickly with the double Upstet double kill. And that's pretty much what my Brown Day looks like whenever I use it. But yeah, that's normally what I use. And I went over all the alternatives. If you guys still have any other questions, let me know, because we can do so. If you guys want me to go over any specific color day or teams or defends or, you know, anything related to Guild Wars or anything in general. Can you use hero every day on Guild Wars without losing points? Yes. You can use your hero on every single day on your defend team as long as you are using a different weapon. It only checks the weapon, it does not check the hero class. So you can actually see me, I'm doing it right now. If we go under Guild, oops, wrong one. If I go under Guild and I go under Guild Wars, we are using our hero weapon on 2 days, but we're still gaining the full amount of points. So as you can see right here, we're still gaining the full 12,000 points, but we're using our hero twice. We're using it tomorrow on Green Day, and we're also using it again on Brown Day with the standard meta. But yeah, and it doesn't penalize us at all. We can use the exact same hero class and it doesn't matter, but you do have to use different weapons. So you can see here we're using Divine Protector, and over here we're using Dawnbringer. But as long as every single one of them is a different weapon, you can use your hero literally every defend day if you want. But yeah, it has to be a different weapon if you do. That's the only thing that matters in relation to that. Would like to see a green team if possible? Sure. What am I currently running? I believe I'm running Yasmin Infinite Loop. That's actually one of the few things that Yasmin is actually good for, is green Guild War Day. That's like the only thing I ever use it for. Oh yeah, I'm still using this version of it. I guess it's okay. That's another thing that Queen Aurora is good for too. Green Guild War Day, purple Guild War Day, and yellow Guild War Day. If you had like literally no other option, Azura is actually amazing for them. Okay, we'll go and we'll go for a skull here. Need to start getting our mana up. The only thing I really hate about this version of this team is how inconsistent your very first casts are. I really would just want to get a Dark Maiden. Why am I going for... I don't know why I'm focusing yellow so heavily. Normally that wouldn't be how you start this team. You should be focusing red, get her up immediately, convert the yellow into something else, and then go from there. But let's just go do that. Ideally, we'll extra turn, and ideally we will never stop extra turning. And that's the whole premise of this team. You just keep extra turn, extra turn, extra turn, and then just win. Biggest issue is when you miss. Also, the other biggest issue is when you face freeze with this particular team. Let's see, we'll go do it on green. Look at that. Go get the higher damage out, and I believe that's already matched. Yeah, one more will do it, and we already won. We'll do it in another Yasmin. And that's what my Green Day normally looks like. It is abysmal against freeze, though. But against pretty much everything else, it tends to do relatively similar to that. Freeze and Famine are the biggest 2 issues. Freeze, Famine, and any mana drain that uses green, or really any heavy troop that uses green that's really good and has a high impact ability, like Catches the Bull or something. But those are anything it's really bad against. Everything else, it basically does what you just saw whenever you use it. I've been trying to figure out how to put a hero into that team. I'm not fully certain yet. Ideally, I do want all my Guild War days, or at least most of my Guild War days, to use hero. Currently, I believe only 2 of mine does. Oh, good, a pet gnome. I still haven't switched my traits yet, have I? It's like the 5th time now, and I don't believe I have yet. Let's see, one way to tell. Nope, I still don't have the dodge. Well, you can tell because we hit Death Mark. If we have Death Mark, it's impossible for us to have had the dodge. And we'll get that down. Pet gnome will die to the Ubestead, I guess. Secure the kill. I have no clue if we have a pet active at the moment, but we'll find out in a moment. Let's see, we'll get this down, go for the nice little poke there. Oh wait, why am I hitting the one that's Death Marked? I should probably be hitting the one that isn't. Sure, we'll get that down. Throw that out, Furnace dead. And there we go. Okay, 100%. I am now switching my hero back to what it should be. Hey, ooh, Magma Pillar. That's actually really nice. I've been wanting to get Magma Pillar max, but obviously I don't want to spend the gems to do so. It's really expensive buying additional pets. But let me go to troops, go to, what do I need here? I need to go, that's not what I need. I need to find my hero. Let's just go into the pet battles and then switch it there. So fight, and let me go switch this back to normal. So if we go under class, okay, let's move all these back to what they should be now that we're done with Guild Wars. So we move this back to Darkstorm. We move this back to, it's already correct. And this goes back to dodge. There we go. Not too many changes, just the 2 of them. And there we go. Okay, continue and go get all of our free Magma Pillars. Hopefully we get like 5. I think we still need like 11 more copies or something, but in time we'll get it. And it actually gives like 1 or 2 more damage to my elemental, the Forest Guardian Rowan team. Whenever we go and use that, it'll give it anywhere from like 1 to 2 more damage if we get this Magma Pillar max. And while that isn't a lot, in the context of Explore, it's quite a bit. There are many battles where you'll lose due to not having 1 or 2 more damage, and having that off of your pet can be very useful. It normally doesn't come into play, but you never know. Also, giant teams end up using that elemental bonus as well. And if they ever add more Stormheim Giants, that's going to be really good, because Titan is just an insanely good class right now. It's not as better than the meta with all the Divines and everything, but it's still pretty high up there, and could be one of the better ones, depending. What would have to happen is they would need to add a split damage or a full AoE Giant that is also an elemental. And if they were to do that, then Giants would pretty much be set to just destroy everything. What's a good low-level to mid-level yellow team? Let's see. No mythics? Well, generally yellow days go based off of a Gorgoltha first slot. One really cheap thing that you can build, though, that doesn't really use anything of expense, is Hellcat into triple Goblin Rocket, or even Alchemist Hellcat double Goblin Rocket if you want it to be even safer than that. It doesn't win that quick, but it has a very high win rate. Once you get it going, you can basically keep it perpetually on your turn. And while it will take you so many turns and it is going to lower your score slightly because of that, if you're struggling to actually win, it's a great way to just win those days without really having to do too much. It does take knowing how to use like the whole explosion thing correctly, but you can learn that pretty quick. It only takes like about an hour of using it to kind of get a good feel for how it works. I would definitely try using it out of Guild Wars before you bother doing it in Guild Wars, though. But yeah, just Hellcat triple. Oh, I got Assassin off. A Hellcat triple Goblin Rocket, because you don't have to use uniques in Invasion, or when you're invading in Guild Wars. I mean, when you're defending, you do, but when you're invading the other enemy for the pure color days, you can literally use 4 of the exact same trip if you want to, and it will not penalize you at all. Obviously, that team wouldn't work that great, but you can. The 2 most noteworthy times you would ever do that is mainly Goblin Rocket spam or Christine X spam. Multiple Christine X's is actually an amazing team. I used to run it for Blue and Green Guild War Day, back when there weren't as many options for either of them. Didn't score like the absolute greatest, but it was pretty funny seeing it. Let's see. We'll go take purple over. Let's get the brown. Take a yellow to green. Actually, you know what? Let's go for another purple. Let's go for there. Any substitute for Queen Aurora for the Green Guild War team? Unfortunately, there isn't. Queen Aurora is... there's not really much that replaces it, because it covers every single link and really gives you a lot of mana, even if you're like blocking everything. I guess the next best bet would be... probably Hero using something. Hero with some kind of green storm on it. I'm not sure exactly what hero class that would be, nor the weapon. But hero with a green storm start would actually be not too bad for that team. Especially if you can get looping while the storm is still active. Because if you can get web spinner or Yasmin off while you have a green storm, you pretty much auto won the battle, as long as you're not frozen. Because you can already normally infinitely loop that, even if there isn't a green storm. And with it, it's just ridiculously easy. Most of the time. It can still fail, of course, but it's a lot less likely that it would. Any plans for more Darkest Dungeon? Yes, probably on this Thursday, I'll be doing more Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, it's been a little while since I got back to it. Just had some other things I needed to do last minute this week. But other than that, yeah. And of course, we've been farming up Assassin. But yeah, probably this Thursday, most likely. Sometime later on Thursday, maybe around 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably be doing it for about 6 hours or so. 5, 6 hours, somewhere around there. But yeah, we'll be definitely getting back to Darkest Dungeon. No worries. I didn't abandon it. Okay, we'll go and take the skull over. Go for the hit there. Go see what else we can get. I guess let's go for the double kill. Get this out the way. Get a nice Infernus down. Sorry, what was your question? Do you know Guild War bracket movement finally? No, I didn't bother looking it up. If you search it on the forum real quick, you could probably find it. I know how it works for every bracket that is 4 or below. It's first goes up by 2, second and third move up by 1. But yeah, it's let me say that in a clearer way. For all brackets 4 or below, basically how it works in most instances, unless you're like really low bracket. But for like a good majority of players, how it works is first place moves up by 2, second and third move up by 1, dead last in the bracket moves down by 2, and the second to last and third to last move down by 1. And that's how like 80% of brackets work. The very low brackets move by a lot, and I have no clue specifically how that works because they never actually publicly disclosed. And the top few, I know that first bracket, the first one, the bottom 2 move down, and for second and third, I actually do forget the exact movement, other than that the top 2 move up, and that the in both. But I forget exactly what the like every single other smaller movement is on the bottom, because I know it is slightly different for second and third bracket. Yeah, we'll go through Infernus down. And let's go for poke. And what else do we need? Go throw the red over. Get Infernus down. And that should be it. Just throw a nice anything at it. And dead. Or not. And now he's dead. Hello, Bunny Killer! Marcelo, what was your full question? Any substitute for Queen Aurora in the Green Guild War team, please? Also, what should you craft in the Soulforge? Yasmin Chosen or Queen Aurora? Ooh, that's a hard one. Yasmin is stronger, but Queen Aurora is used in more instances. Probably Queen Aurora. Oh no, Queen Aurora is really good on Beast teams. It's also really good on a couple different Guild War days. Really on any of its colored Guild War day, you can do it. Yasmin is exceptionally good on Green Guild War Day. The only problem is Green Guild War Day is literally the only thing you would ever use it for. Whereas, as I mentioned, Queen Aurora is used for way more. But yeah, it really just depends on your personal preference then, if you need help with Green Guild War Day. As far as which one to craft first, if you're trying to build it into a Green Guild War Day, I would probably say Queen Aurora first still, even though you would use the, even though the Yasmin is slightly better, if you, as long as you have Web Spinner, you can make it work with like a web spinner, Dark Maiden, your hero using some kind of green start storm, and Queen Aurora fully maxed would end up working. It wouldn't be as good as the Yasmin, but it would still kind of get the job done. I've never actually tested it, but I assume it has pretty much all the components. You just wouldn't have the 2 spammers. But as long as you get this storm, if the storm is still active, any form of green storm, Web Spinner will easily be able to just infinitely loop as long as it's not frozen. Yasmin has a Web Spinner as a substitute, but the problem is you can't really go double Web Spinner. You can if you wanted to, It's just nowhere near as good as running a Yasmin as the second one. Because Yasmin helps you cover 2 additional colors. It helps you cover brown and it helps you cover purple. If you're just running double web spinner, it's pretty clunky. Though double web spinner technically could work, I just wouldn't really advise it. You'd have to get really lucky with it for it to actually work properly. And for Guild Wars, you don't want to do something based on luck. You want to, unless it's just helpful. But you want the core of your team to be as non-luck dependent as possible. Oh yeah, I've played Hearthstone in the past. Haven't really played much as of recently, though. Yeah, I had several old Hearthstone videos. Yeah, I have played it before. Yeah, it's a fun game. I just slightly too pay to win for me. But it was fun while I was still playing it, though. Okay, so what do we need? We need... Oh, we already did all the things. So let me go and I guess just keep grinding it out. If you guys still have any other questions I missed, let me know. I read that, read that. Read the full question. Oh, glad you're feeling better, Bunny Killer. Yeah, I was quite a bit the other week as well. Oh, so that reminds me, I didn't take the medication for today, did I? It's already like 9 p.m. Better late than never. I'll do that after the stream. Let's see. And that's all the things. Okay. But yeah, let's keep grinding it out. We're still 18 levels away. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll be 10 levels or less away, so that we can basically just use gems for the rest of it. I'll try to use it as minimally as possible. So, I don't know. I'll see how much time I have tomorrow. I think I'll have about like 4 to 5 hours free tomorrow. I won't be streaming at all. Probably won't be streaming any of it other than just the later during the day. But yeah, I do really want to get that last little bit of EXP so that we can go do the video for it. I don't have to have it maxed for the video. I just kind of want to have it maxed because I've been curious since they added it, this version, what on earth Assassin Max actually looks like. Because I have been mentioning it as one of the better hero classes, yet haven't even tested it myself. I would have to say Titan at the moment, from what I can tell. Titan, Divine, and probably Assassin are the 3 highest. Bard is probably also going to be added to that in a week if they're going to be buffing up that kingdom. They never gave us a clear answer yesterday, though. It was asked if they are buffing Pan's Veil next week, and they didn't actually give us a response because she didn't know, the person who was streaming. It was Syrup streaming on last night's stream, so she didn't actually know if they were or were not, but hopefully they are. It would make the most amount of sense that they would at that point, because they've mentioned that they are buffing it, they just didn't say when. It would make the most sense that they would do it on Pan's Veil event week. It would be kind of odd if they didn't. Oh good, a double kill off the assassin, and just need one little poke of any kind, if we could find it. There we go, that'll work. A little overkill, Ubisnip for the kill, and down it goes. I am not going to forget after the stream. I definitely won't. Definitely wouldn't do that. Alright, let's go for the... Oh, we'll go for Revenge. Why not? Should probably actually go do some of the daily stuff, too. They're really easy to do. All you have to do is basically Dragon Soul first slot and then kill them all out that way. I believe one of them is to use reds on my team. I could probably really easily do that just by switching this team slightly into a pure red team. I could also just go switch to dragons or something. Like 4 times red dragon. I don't think I have that team saved anymore, but I could go build it real quick. Just so that we can get the objective done. And do a PvP while doing it. Let's see. Let me actually go switch into that. We'll do it over our suggested team slot. Just kill them out that way. So let me go under... go all the way over here. Click over to this. And get rid of most of this stuff. Okay, so let it load out. Loading, loading, loading. And get rid of this entire team. And let's go Dragon Soul. Wherever it may be. Ward Breaker. Elema Grim. And Hero using Dawnbringer. Somewheres. And Dawnbringer. That is not Dawnbringer, that is Dawnbringer. And there we go, pure red dragon. We'll just keep that as first slot and run it as our Dragon Soul thing. It's going to take a little bit longer doing it this way, but at least we have a kind of pure dragon team. Kind of pure, kind of not. I'll just put Dawnbringer there. I'm not even going to bother using the assassin for assassin. Let's do it like that and run it. This is actually what I ran some on Red Guild War Day in the past. I don't use it anymore, but I have to use a team with 3 reds in it, so might as well do this. I forget what the other objective was. Should have probably checked, because we could have probably done both at once. But if it said dragons, we're doing that. I don't think it did, though. Pretty sure it didn't. But we'll move that, move that. So much manas. What else do we need? We'll take a little bit of red or something. Yeah, we'll go move red over. Let him have a little skull. Go for a bunch of greens. What are we reducing every single time? Oh, we're reducing his attack. I was wondering what that noise was. That's Element Grim reducing their attack every time it makes that little ding noise. And killed off a Wardbreaker. And there we go. That counts for 1 win towards our thingy. Plus we still get HP for it, which is nice. Which one would be a good trait and any combo you could consider for a newish player? Oops, I didn't read your previous thing. Let me see. Good morning, Brian. From Western Australia. That'd explain why it's morning. You're a low-level player and would like to consider a knight card to use. Which is better? Knight Coronet. I don't know if you actually mentioned that in any of that. But Knight Coronet is the one of the stronger knights in the game that's low rarity. You can build entire teams around it when you're a newer player. It also scales decently into mid-game as it gets leveled. But of the knights that you mentioned, probably Lion Prince, because it double hits and does a decent amount of damage. But Knight Coronet is generally considered the better early game version of any knight that you can use. Do you use Dawnbringer, Infernus, Ubestead, and Ishbala on Yellow Day? I use some form of Divine Yellow team. I actually forget the specific lineup. Let me double check. My current yellow is... No, I actually run the Gorgolfa Infernus version. With the Queen Aurora in it. The main reason for this is so I take less skull damage. The biggest issue with a normal Divine team is it has no skull mitigation whatsoever, unless you're putting your hero in first slot, in which case you only have the mitigation of what your hero has, which at most is either 30% dodge or 40% reduction. So I run Gorgolfa in first slot so we don't take as much damage. I still throw the Infernus, obviously, because it's insanely good. Queen Aurora to get quicker mana, and Dawnbringer for 2 reasons. 1, so we use our hero, and 2, because we cover every color with it, using that last little bit of blue. And also gives us barrier to not take as much damage. Gorgolfa into Dawnbringer combo is, or really any tank troop into a Dawnbringer on your team is really good for Guild War days. Simply because the reduction on your first troop makes it so you don't take as much damage, so you keep your score high. And also Dawnbringer's barrier keeps your score high. As on some colors, like for example red, it's one of the only few ways you can really barrier. Yellow definitely has a lot of ways to barrier, but red and blue do not have too many means of doing it. So generally on those 2 color days, it's really good to actually throw it down. But I also throw it for yellow because why not? But yeah, this is what I personally run. Though yeah, you could easily go with what you just mentioned. I just personally don't do that. Just because it gets hit by skulls a little bit too hard. And you can lose a lot of mana that way. Also, you shouldn't really be using Dawnbringer in first slot most of the time. It doesn't help you too much. You would need like a mana generator there more often than not. Like a mana generating tank is the best thing you can normally put in first slot in most teams. You don't have to do that every single time, but it's definitely useful too. Some kind of utility generally has to be put there. If you just put like one of your biggest damages there, it's not going to work out too well unless it also has mana generation on it. What true troops would you suggest for a Priest hero team that uses Guard's Avatar? I don't think you would really need to use Priest with Guard's Avatar. Normally, when you build a Guard's Avatar team, I like building it around Honor and just running Honor, Apothecary with Guard's Avatar. And that triple combo alone is enough to win. Then your last slot is either Corvash or or your hero using something, either or. And you just run it like that. Or you can even throw Highforge there to half mana start your Apothecary. Get it up even quicker. But honestly, I do not really recommend using Guard's Avatar on a Divine team. Divines, surprisingly, are not too good at raising armor. There are several Divines that raise your armor, but almost all of them are useless. They have a really good HP buffs, but their armor buffs are kind of behind for the most part at the moment. Like everything that does armor off of Divine, like every single one's almost useless at the moment. They're all dead content compared to HP. But if I just go show that real quick, go under, where on earth is it? I'll click it right eventually. It's this one. Go under Divine and click Armor. So, Bishop, useless. Morthani's Will only does it to itself. Priestess does a decent amount, but it ends its turn. and it's generally useless. Does it to itself. Does like a 8 or something ridiculously small. Never mind, you don't even do it based on armor. Devoted is probably the best one, yet it's horrible. It only does 7 gems, does a little bit of armor. So yeah, there's like 3 options, and all of them are horrible. Which is why you don't normally run Guard's Avatar on a Divine team. But if we go to something like hit points, it's actually a lot of them for hit points. Or not. Wait, how do they have it? Well, you know, for life, I guess. We do it to life. But yeah, for life, we have... Celestasi is okay. Divinia is obviously the main thing you would use, like literally always. And Monkey Disciple is amazing. And of course, Queen Aurora is amazing. And technically, Asuna for herself is amazing. Though it doesn't actually buff anyone else. But yeah, there just isn't enough good armor buffers is the biggest issue. I feel like with him in a Divine team. Is there a troop that turns a selected gem to green? Yes, Green Seer and... Wasn't there another one? Or was it just Green Seer? I could have sworn there was another. Oh, yes. Spirit Dancer, I believe her name is. Yeah, Green Seer and Spirit Dancer. That's what her name was, right? It's a blue-purple that converts 13 mana costs and converts to green. I believe her name's Spirit Dancer. But yeah, those 2 troops can both convert to green if you need it. Yeah, there's a way to select every color to another color. And there we go. And what was our objective again? I didn't even double check to see if we're even progressing against it. We are. Oh, okay. For the final 4, we can go use Mist of Scales, I guess, and then get both of those done at once. It's not really that big of a reward. I should probably stop doing these for the most part. Most of them just feel like they're so useless to do. I don't know. We'll go do it and explore later. I think we'll just leave it at that. But anyways, guys, anyone else have any other questions for me to go over before I end out the stream today? Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow for the next Guild War day. We'll also be going over the pet in the morning as well. Let's see. How much in the morning will that be? I'll probably get to it more towards like noon or so. Because I'll probably do it when I wake up, not tonight, most likely. But, yeah, anyways, if there's anything else you guys want me to go over, just let me know. Tomorrow is, of course, Green Guild War Day, so I'll be running the Yasmin loop with Queen Aurora, of course. If we're up against 3, if we're up against Freeze, I might try a Dawnbringer. I mean, not a Dawnbringer, a Yagway team, and see if we can kind of get that to work. I still have not figured out what my use against Freeze green team will be. So I should probably try figuring that out before tomorrow night. Because we might actually just use that instead of our normal team. At least if we are up against Freeze. Depends how many options there are. If we don't see a single one, then we'll probably just use the normal. But yeah, it's really, really bad against Freeze. Web Spinner, Yasmin, basically anything that ever spams a gem to the board is always going to lose to Freeze. Especially if you don't have a cleanse on your team. Because you basically have to wait out every single Freeze on your entire team since they all use green. Will you be making a new updated Guild War video now that they added the hero classes? Yes, we will be covering that soon. Next big video will likely be going over literally every hero class in the entire game. And we'll be covering that in the near future. And the current videos coming up are mainly just going over the events this week. Mainly the... Did I not do Magma Pillar? Yes, I did. But mainly the new monster pet coming tomorrow. The assassin hero class coming on Thursday, which we've been grinding out for. And the bounty hunter this Friday, which we'll probably be doing most on the Friday and Saturday stream, just to get that done and get a bunch of orbs. Why you can't kill hero with magic reduction? Because it's magic reduction. It only reduces down their magic stat. It doesn't actually do any damage to them. Yeah, you can never kill anything with magic reduction. It just makes it so their ability doesn't use magic, which doesn't even negate out much of their ability, just whatever scales specifically on magic. And to know what scales off of magic, you just click on any troop and whatever their purple value is in their ability is what scales off of it. But they still do everything else in their ability. Like, let's say like an Aberrath, for example. He'll still always remove all gems, even if he has 0 magic. The only thing that gets reduced is the amount of attack he gains, which would be reduced all the way down to 1 if he was to have 0 magic. But yeah, magic reduction in most instances doesn't do a lot. Only against things that are really magic dependent, like things that hit full AoE to all enemies and stuff like that, does it really have much of an effect on them. What's a good yellow Guild War team? Basically, Gorgoltha into anything is generally what you want to be running. Gorgoltha frontline tank, and damage door second slot, mana generator third, and another damage in the back. And that's how you run most of the days. And you don't need mythics for it, though it's very, very, very helpful to have Gorgulfa. It's not mandatory, but it is super, super useful. If you don't have a Gorgulfa, your next best bet for a yellow Guild War day will be to replace it with Cockatrice and run another brown on your team so that you can utilize the excess brown that you're getting off the Cockatrice. One of those combinations can be Cockatrice plus Dragonian Monk. It's a really cheap combination that will keep you safe because you'll have brown mana generation off of Cockatrice, you'll have an Entangle off your Cockatrice, and you'll have the barrier and board control off your Dragonian Monk. Then you just put 2 damaging yellows in between them, and that'll be your team pretty much. That's about the cheapest you can get a good yellow day. The only other thing you can do is Hellcat Triple Goblin Rocket, and that also ends up working. And then the next thing from there would all use Gorgulfa fully traded. Anything really stronger than those two. But then it starts getting really expensive because then you need like really big yellow legends or even mythics. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming down. I'll see you all tomorrow night, same time as always, 1 hour prior to now, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you all enjoy your week, and best of luck with all the events, because we actually have a lot of them this week, back to back to back. Goodbye, everyone!